EA College Football 26 has announced another title update coming to this video game, man. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna tell y'all exactly how it is. I am a little bit disappointed, man. I'm a little bit disappointed reading through this update. I think it's super underwhelming, and yeah, I'm not a fan of this update whatsoever. If you boys enjoy this content, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate y'all boys. Check out the ebook membership. We're going crazy with everything. We're going to tell y'all exactly how it is. And like I said, I am not a fan of this update, and maybe primarily because this update is not for Dynasty players when it comes to, no changes was made to Dynasty that's listed in this update. And a lot of you guys are probably just going to move on and say this video is not for y'all. You're right. It's not. This update is really not for us. It does address some gameplay stuff that we'll get into in a second. But the big thing that this update is here to bring is a change to college football ultimate team. To be honest, I have opened the game mode probably about twice, and both times with accidents, and I closed app as soon as possible. As soon as possible. I have not touched Ultimate Team. I honestly don't know if it's fun, but a new head-to-head ranked game mode, which do sound more competitive and could be fun to play if you're a Dynasty guy, or not Dynasty, if you're a Ultimate Team guy. But that's the bulk of the update. You scroll down after it pretty much breaks down how the whole Ultimate Team change will work. Then you get into some gameplay updates. And I think one of my issues with every update we see massive gameplay changes. Massive. And I hate to bring up 2K, but I'm a 2K player. I have a 2K channel, all of that. 2K has dropped, 2-3 updates now. They made literally one change the gameplay all year. And obviously it's not comparing apples to apples, 2K basketball compared to football, football is a lot more complicated, a lot more players on the field, on the court, a lot more players, a lot more everything, man. You have actually plays being called. You have so many more glitches. But the fact that 2K dropped such a good product, the way you feel, however you feel about 2K, 2K is a good game. They only made one game change to 2K, man. One gameplay change. The game been out for maybe 2 months at this point, probably more so around a month. And we're, months into college football, and we see this massive list of just gameplay changes that constantly have to be tweaked all throughout the year. For me, that's a little bit frustrating, man. How is the gameplay constantly so far from being, not even perfect, but so far from being acceptable, I guess, is, what I'm looking for. So, yes, all of this stuff we see every single update, man. You got some improvements to the pass game, route stem, whatever, some of that stuff changing. Pass protection should be changing. You'll always see improvement to blocking. So run blocking improvements should be made. Also, the pass rush, somewhere listed in here, the pass rush should be a little bit better. QB contain should actually work how it should. I feel like QB contain was useless. I'll use that in a offline dynasty, not even online. Online dynasty, I feel like you could cheese there and run out. An offline dynasty, QB contain, and my guys are just not keeping contain. So, that should be in a better spot. Point is, it's a lot of, changes. You got some small coverage changes here, some run game changes, some, post-play stuff. So a lot of, everything should just be in a better spot gameplay-wise. If you want to read through everything, feel free to do so. I'm not, man. I'm just not. Now, when it comes to Dynasty, we get nothing. This is the end of it. If some of y'all might already seen this already, this is the end of it. You get some for my, EA equipment guys. You do get a few additional pieces of equipment, and you get a lot of uniforms added, man. These Arizona State black uniforms added. These ones are dope. I had these ones as a thumbnail cover a few videos ago, but those uniforms are definitely dope. So a lot of uniforms will be continued to add to the game. But the elephant in the room, where is the player update? Where is the roster update? Let's talk about the elephant in the room, man. Where is it? Where is it? I should have looked back to see when EA dropped the roster update for College Football 25. But my prediction personally was for this year, they was going to drop it after 4 games being played. After that's a good part of the season being done. I even went on Twitter and said, hey, roster update will be coming soon. And I still think it's a chance we get the roster update on Friday. By the way, this update right here is coming tomorrow. But I think it's a small chance we do see a roster update coming on Friday. I feel like they did that one time last year, man. They dropped like an update on Thursday, then they randomly dropped a roster update on a Friday, and we wasn't really expecting it. I feel like they did that once last year. But if we don't see any roster update this year or this week, I think it's a guarantee we see it next week, whether that's Tuesday or Thursday. Thursday seems like the day they usually like to drop these updates. I think it's guaranteed we see one next week. If we don't see one next week, I don't even know. I'm lost for words. But in a serious note, man, like, where is the roster update? I think it's a lot of guys that's not in the game, and that's, is what it is. That's not EA fault sometimes, man. Sometimes the guys don't sign the papers. The guys don't do this, don't do that. So that's not always EA fault that, some starters are not in the game. But it's like, we got to adjust overalls. Like, some teams to start this year is nowhere near as good as we thought. So these overalls are not in a good spot. And we have yet to see a roster update that actually changed overalls, man. We've seen a roster update that added more players to the game, added players, changed positions, changed jersey numbers, all of that type stuff. But we didn't see a roster update that actually changed overalls. And I feel like we waiting so long, like, we got to get this roster update. Like, for example, Dante Moore, he needs to be in the 90s. Like, he needs to be boosted, just being honest. And also maybe given some more abilities. And I think in this update, we'll see overall being changed, and we also will see abilities being changed as well, man. Last year, they kind of broke it up. Sometimes they will only change the overalls, and then the next time they will only change the abilities. It was kind of breaking it up. I think this update, they'll change a little bit of everything. But it's tough. I ain't gonna lie. It's tough to update a game where it's over 10,000 players, man. Like, it's over 10,000 players. Madden, they get they update every week because, it's however many players. Not that many players in the league. It's a lot easier to update 32 teams than 130-something teams. Like, that is way more challenging. And then also these rosters have way more than 52 guys, 53 guys than the NFL roster. So it's a lot. Point is, it's a lot more difficult to update these rosters in this college football game. But not to give EA an excuse or anything, but it's like, we need an update, man. I'm ready to start a new Dynasty. I want to start a new live stream series. Y'all let me know what team. But I low-key was waiting for the roster update to drop to start that new live stream Dynasty. I just wanted to wait for a new roster update, man. For a lot of people, they'll bring people back to the game. They'll have people come back to the game, check out the rosters, maybe even start a new Dynasty, all of that. And I wanted to be a part of that, but it's looking like it's not happening, at least not this week, man. Maybe next week. But like I said, a lot of these players need to be adjusted. A lot of teams come into the season, we thought they was going to be this, and they not that, And it happens. And a lot of teams that we thought wasn't going to be that good are performing out of this world, exceeding expectations. And it happens, man. It happens all the time. So I would love to see a roster update coming here soon. And I think it's interesting how these guys, or EA even decided these guys overall. So like DJ Lagway, he jumped up like 8 overalls from last year to this year. Like, without doing anything, reminder, because he didn't play all that much last year, but at the end of the year, his overall ended around like an 82 overall. And when this new game came out, they just gave him a 90 overall. And they did that with another guy, Jordan Seaton. Another guy, they just gave him a high overall, expecting a very good sophomore season. And they did that for a bunch of players. So it's interesting how they just, I don't know, man. I don't know what they thought process. Okay, this guy is, projected to be good. No, make him earn it. Make him earn it, man. Not saying anything bad about DJ, but he threw 5 picks against LSU, and he's going to be a great player. But it's like, make these guys earn this overall and give it to them once they earn it, and not give it to them their sophomore year before they proved anything. And I hate to point out one guy, but it's frustrating, man. For me, that's frustrating at least, man. Because, like, you start Dynasty, he had 90 overall. In real life, he's not playing like a 90 overall. Let's just call it what it is. He's not playing like he's that 90 overall. And when I seen the roster, I called that out. at this before the game even came out. When I seen these overalls, I'm like, yo, why is some of these guys so high in overall? It makes no sense. But please let me know y'all thoughts, man. What do y'all want added to the game? How y'all feel about this update, man? WL update. The fact that Dynasty wasn't mentioned once in this update rubs me the wrong way a little bit. But we know they're going to change stuff without mentioning it, man. They've done this every single update. Things about Dynasty will get tweaked that does not make the patch notes. That's why you need to make sure you sub to the channel. Let me self-promo, man. Make sure you sub to the channel because I will drop a video covering stuff that has been changed in Dynasty that was not mentioned in the patch notes. So just give me a couple days after the update come out. I'll do some testing, do some little bit of everything, and we'll see what they change, man. And people still think they change player progression. You know, people are saying they feel like player progression is a lot worse since the last update. From my testing, I can't really tell. But, man, that's all I really got for y'all boys, man. Just want to talk about this update, get y'all opinion, let y'all know my opinion. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the ebook membership down below. I appreciate y'all, and we on to the next one.